Okay, sir. Shall we start? Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, I am ready.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Good evening to one and all present here. It was indeed a great pleasure for me to join hands with you via this online webinar on the topic Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. At the outset, I would like to render my sincere gratitude to the management of Thames Tech Solutions and the Vice President, Madam Sugandhi Madam, for giving me this opportunity to deliver a session on this particular topic. So, once I am proceeding with this slide, I will be taking you through what is AI, what are the areas, histories that are available in AI, what are the different types of AI is there, and how AI works, what is the current status of AI and challenges of AI. And I will also be delivering some interesting tools that has been generated with the support of this artificial intelligence tool, which I have not posted in this slide. Also, I will be just sharing it to you because normally I could understand that students are always getting fed up with the PPT presentations. So what I will do is whenever I handle a session, I will just give you a lot of important insights through the PPT, and I will be giving you some application areas that are not being covered in my PPT, so that you can make note of it. But that will be more useful to you whenever you are working in your area, right? Right. So what is an AI? So this is a bustling word. Everybody speaks about AI, and some people they used to call somebody as AI. Okay. AI is a branch of computer science dealing with the simulation of intelligent behavior in computers. So what is called as an intelligent? So intelligent is something wherein we have to think logically to find a solution for a problem. So once you want to find a solution, you should be very clear about what the problem is all about, right? So if you are able to track what is the problem, definitely we will be able to identify a solution for that with the kind of ideation that is being carried out. So what is an ideation? Once we are able to track and identify and what is the exact problem is, we can put forward the problem to the forum, and the people in the forum will be given a chance to discuss about the problem, and they will be coming out with lot of suggestions and ideas. Once they come up with suggestions and ideas, it is not mandatory that we have to accept all the ideas and all the suggestions that is being put forth by all the members. We have to just look for the pros and cons of each and every idea that is being given by each and every member. It is not mandatory that only a skilled person or an educated person will be able to give a wonderful idea. Even a person who is having sufficient experience without the sufficient degree knowledge, they will be able to give some beautiful ideas for the problem that we come across. One of the major stories that some people might have heard or some people might not have heard is that once there was a security who is standing in a car manufacturing company. You know, the car manufacturing company CEO is very keen in introducing a car with more spacious area, and he feels it should be more comfortable to the public. He has made everything, all the arrangements has been made according to the CEO's instruction. And finally, once they have made it, finally they noticed that their car was not able to come out of the company. You know, the CEO called all the engineers, all the educated persons to find a solution for that problem. You know, nobody was able to give a wonderful solution, but the security guard of that particular company was able to give a very good idea. He just asked the CEO to reduce the air in the tire, deflate the air. That was the information that is being given by that person. So we should not look for a person who is going to give ideas only based on their educational qualification. We should also give a chance for all the persons to give their own suggestions and ideas. But the thing is that before implementing, we have to proceed with whether the idea is actually solving the solution or actually giving a solution for the problem. Okay, that is what we have to actually look for. So AI is we are trying to enhance, or we are trying to make the system to think logically and act according to the historical factors. We are making the system to predict based on the historical factors. So for that we are going to code something. Okay, coding is nothing but it is a kind of instruction that is being fed by the end user to make the system to understand what is actually running behind, or what is actually happening internally inside the system based on the input that is being received. So that is how our system actually works. So now we speak about AI in more areas. We often say about AI in current trends, but what is AI is all about? It is the capacity to learn and solve problems. Okay, artificial intelligence is the stimulation of human intelligence by machines. We have to make the human intelligence factor to be embedded with any kind of electronical gadgets, and the electronic gadgets should give some kind of prediction factors, and the prediction factors should actually make the people lazy, more lazy. So once you make the people more lazy, the people customer base will be getting increased for each and every business, and that is how the artificial intelligence is currently ruling the business sector in across the world. Okay, it is the ability to solve problems, it is the ability to act rationally, it is the ability to act like humans. So these are the three factors that the artificial intelligence is all about. So we are embedding the logical portion of the brain of humans with the machinery factors, and the machines are being coded with some set of instructions, and that instruction is actually facilitating us to find a solution for the problem whatever that we come across. So this is how our artificial intelligence actually works. Right. So let me take you through the history of this artificial intelligence. You might have seen this person. This person is one of the greatest scientists named Alan Turing. He has said in 1950s that computing machinery and intelligence. He has written a paper titled "Computing Machinery and Intelligence." So when they gone through the paper, he was being cursed. How a machine can think intelligent? So that was the question that is being put forth by all the public to whomever he has presented. But he was being called as an idiot for presenting such a paper. But today everything is in practice. Whatever that he has thought, whatever that he has thought, and how he acted, all those informations are being kept into practice in various sectors, and that is how the artificial intelligence has boomed up. Now we speak about artificial intelligence, but in 1956, of this great English mathematician, he has written that particular logical factors or the logical fuzzy logic factors will be able to give a solution for the problems that we come across, and that is how that is when it is being embedded with some kind of computational machines, we will be able to find a digital solution for the problems that we come across. That was the information that is being shared by this gentleman, and today he was being called as the father of artificial intelligence. Alan Turing is called as father of artificial intelligence. Right. So in 1915s, the Turing's test has made how can a machine think, whether it is possible to make the machines think. In normal C and C++ coding itself, we are creating n number of exceptions, right? All those exceptions are what? The very simple example to understand artificial intelligence is that once you are able to open a Word document, Microsoft Word document, and you type something, and before saving the application, if you are trying to close the application, what it does? It immediately throws a dialog box in front of you. Do you want the document to be saved? So that itself is an artificial intelligence, which means that whenever the button is being clicked, the button should automatically check whether the application is being saved. If it is not being saved, it has to immediately trigger an information to the end user, noting that the particular application is not being saved. This is a very good example for artificial intelligence. We don't need to think about very big factors. So this is a very simple example of artificial intelligence that I would like to tell you about. In 1956, the term artificial intelligence was first introduced, and it was being done by John McCarthy, and he is the scientist who preceded this successor Turing, and he was able to come up with some beautiful solutions. He is the one who actually converted the mathematical formulas into the computational factors, and he was able to find a solution for the problems. So how AI works? AI works by combining large amount of data with fast and iterative processing and intelligent algorithms. So iteration, once we say about iteration, we have to repeat the factors again and again and again until the conditions or the constraint is getting satisfied. So once we are able to meet the constraint, we will be saying in other programming languages, we'll be calling something called conditional statements. Conditional statements will always have some looping statements are called as conditional statements, and that looping statements will always stick to a constraint, and once the constraint is getting satisfied, it will just throw their information. And that is how the artificial intelligence will also work. It will just check for some conditions that is being fed by the end user, and once the end user constraint is being met by the system, it will act according to that. And that is how it is being framed as intelligent algorithms are being framed. There are n number of algorithms, and all those algorithms fall under two different types of learning models: machine learning and deep learning methods. And these methods are being adopted as intelligent algorithms to find solution for the problem. So AI is a broad field of study that includes many theories and methods and technologies, and some subfields includes the neural network, deep learning, machine learning, computer vision, NLP, natural language processing, etc. So all these factors are acting as a methodology wherein we will be able to find some solutions for the problems whatever that we come across. So next is types of AI. So what is this AI? How this AI is able to do? So AI is being embedded with a number of robotic process automations, and this robotic process automation involves these kind of artificial intelligence factors. That is artificial narrow intelligence, where a machine is programmed to have a particular expertise. So it will just check for some particular constraint, and if that constraint is getting mapped, immediately it will trigger the work based on that. It is being used in various industries, and artificial general intelligence is the machine where the machine's capabilities span the full spectrum of human activity, equaling us in terms of all understanding. It will just understand all the factors whatever that we come across. Artificial general intelligence is the first model or the methodology that is being adapted to build the humanoid. You all might be knowing, or you might have heard about Sophia, the robot. Okay, that is a very good example of artificial intelligence, human robot that is humanoid, and that follows this artificial general intelligence factor, and it will be able to give a beautiful solution for the problem that we come across. And artificial super intelligence. Artificial super intelligence is a method where a machine's intellect surpasses the best human traits, which means that it is able to remember various factors, and it will follow a multi-dimensional factor, and those multi-dimensional factors will be used for identifying some set of solutions for the problems that the system or the industry or the places wherever it is being applied. So that is how the artificial intelligence types are being classified. So current status of AI. How does AI is good? AI is for good for aviation and education. So we are actually bombarded with a number of electronic gadgets today around us. So we have to analyze the satellite images to identify which areas have the highest quality level. We will be able to adapt this AI. So if we want to have gate allocation for the plane while landing, we are able to use the AI. Ticket price determination, we are able to use AI. Companies are creating robots to teach subjects. Today, subjects are being teachers are being replaced by the robots. And RPA, robotic process automation, is completely depending upon this artificial intelligence factor. And this artificial intelligence factor is giving you a lot of insights what are that can replace the humans. So it is not that there arises a question whether this artificial intelligence will actually wipe off all the job opportunities for the humans. Definitely not. Once we are skilling ourselves in artificial intelligence factors, though the machines are being embedded with all these kind of knowledges, or all these things are being coded into the system to make the system to work with the artificial intelligence factor, there should be a skilled person who should regularly monitor and manage the factors that is being given by the coders. If we are not able to solve that, then definitely the AI will not be able to sustain in this particular society. And AI is also to be upgraded every now and then. You this is a I can give you a very simple example. In just a period of last 2 months, 3 months back, you might have heard something called Chat GPT. Chat GPT has taken over everything. Chat GPT has done that. Chat GPT has done this. All these things are moving up, and it is rocking the newspapers or the other public forums. But today, Google has come up with something called Bot, Google Bot, and Google Bot is able to give something extra other than Chat GPT, and it overcomes the facilities of Chat GPT. So, what is the concept behind both this Chat GPT and Google Bot? Both these actually incorporate the same set of algorithms, and the same set of algorithms are being multi-factors or multi-dimensionalized or multi-programmed with various constraints as a factors or parameters, and those parameters are acting in fetching the data from various sources, ensuring the reliability and scalability of the data. Okay, so that is how the system is able to give you a solution for that. So that is how the artificial intelligence is actually playing a role. Right. So the current status of AI, where does this AI is being used? Or is it mandatory that one should be a well versed in computer to understand this AI? Whether it is used only in computing areas? No, definitely not. AI has started its stepping foot in healthcare industry. It solves the variety of problems of patients, hospitals, and healthcare industry overall. Using avatars in place of patients, we are able to give some kind of solutions. Today, higher end machines, higher end scanning machines are able to incorporate the AI factors, and it is able to keep track of the diagnostic report of all the patients, and it is able to give you a solution. So it has already stepped into healthcare, and the healthcare industry is actually thanking the artificial intelligence for diminishing the various kind of documentation work that is being carried out by the medical members. And the next one is the heavy industry. Once we want to manufacture some car industry, or if we want to track yeah, highly hot place where we manufacture the higher iron rods, even if you go to our own Tamil Nadu, if you go to any steel plants, JWM steel plant, or any kind of steel plant, there will be, where once we manufacture steels, or we manufacture some iron rods, a lot of heat energy will be produced. We will not be able to go manually and stand near to that heat energy and work for a long period of time. Instead, today the computing machineries are being posted instead of human beings, and it is being fitted with a lot of AI factors, and those AI factors are able to predict what will be happening next, and how the iron rod, what will be the heat energy that will be produced, whether it is able to whether the system is able to capable of holding this kind of heat energy. If not, how many cooling agents has to be triggered. I mean, automatically it will trigger the cooling agents, and it will ensure that the environment is not going beyond the temperature level. That is being managed with the help of AI. And all heavy industries started using artificial intelligence factors to manufacture various kind of machinery products, and the AI factor actually is also being used as a testing agent in many heavy industry. What do you mean by the word testing? Testing involves two different set of processes. One is called verification, and another is called validation. So both V and V, verification and validation process, are being carried out as a parameter when AI is being implemented for various kind of testing factors. Once we are able to use this particular AI for that particular purpose, definitely we will be able to understand that it is free from errors, because it works only based on the condition. Once the condition passes, it will work. Once the condition fails, it will not work. So nobody can cheat an AI system until or otherwise the system is being correct. And the next one is financial sector. We are able to analyze the share market. We are able to analyze what kind of trading is being happening, what will be the market analysis. We are able to identify where the data is being mined, where the amount has been lost, whether we have some personal finance factors. Even we, for this financial sector, I might give you a very beautiful example. If you are a customer of the nationalized bank, State Bank of India, and if you started using an app called Yono SBI, you will be able to identify. It will be tracking your expenses. It will track how, once the salary is getting credited, what kind of expenses that you are making, whether you are paying in for some specific grocery purchase, or whether it is you are paying in for some other petrol allowances, or whether you are paying for some school fees, or if you, whether you are investing your money for your savings. All these factors are being calculated and predicted, and it is managed by the Yono SBI app. And there the AI plays a role, because it gives you a report whether your financial status will be what will be your financial status in next 20 years, can be predicted based on the expenses that you are making. So that is being done with the help of the app that is being manufactured, or that is being given by the nationalist bank. And we will be also able to manage the portfolio, whether our system is running in a very good way. Even recent times, you might have seen that the Adani group of industries is going down, and is giving some kind of false information that is being identified with the help of the portfolio management that is being created. Based on that, only the other company from the foreign country is able to give you a very clarity report that there is some fringes that has been happened in the company, and the data that is being submitted to the SEBI is wrong, and it is actually breaching the stakeholders in various ways. That is being identified with the help of these financial sectors, or the implementation of AI in financial sectors. I hope everybody is able to understand. If not, you can ask me some set of queries at the later stage. I will be able to happy to answer your questions. So, current status of AI. AI has taken many shapes and forms over recent years. Today, we are all having mobile phones, and mobile phones are being embedded with Google Assistant or Siri, and it is able to give you a lot of solutions. You can even instruct as your mobile phones with the Google Assistant, and you can ask the Google Assistant to play any music in the YouTube, or you may ask your Google Assistant to call to a particular contact number from your contacts. All these things are possible. Or even you can ask the system to start an application, video application, or you can ask the system to use some kind of Google Maps and track the distance between this particular location to that particular location. All these things are being embedded with the help of AI, because today they have connected these AI factors with all kind of applications, and this AI is being used for various navigation process, and the navigation process is acting, or it is working, taking the threshold point from the satellite as an input, and using that threshold point it is able to navigate the system from one location to another location. We might be wondering how we once we open the Google map and we start driving our car or vehicle, the dotted point that moves from our the source to destination is also moving along with us. It is based on the threshold point that is being received from the satellite. Normally, when we study in school days, we might have studied something called latitude and longitude in geography. So that same concept is being implemented as a threshold point, and that threshold point is being taken as an input, and using that input, we are able to track or navigate from source to destination. And robotics, today you might have heard of some company named UiPath. UiPath is actually facilitating various kind of robotic process automations, especially the young generations, the person who is trying to start a new learning. You might have tied up with this UiPath, and you will start learning some courses related to this UiPath, and robotic process automation is actually moving up, and it is actually facilitating you to understand how the AI is actually implemented along with some set of robots, and how robots are able to collect data at various points, and how the data is being getting stored, and how the stored data is being used for some analytical purpose, and how that analyzed data is being used for some predicted values, or predicting the values to the future. So all these factors are being considered with the help of these things, and Google has a major play on AI, transcendence, and deep learning, because today if somebody is asking you who is your good friend, out of the heart, we normally used to say only human friends as our friends, but normally if you ask any people, there will be no person without using Google if he has used his mobile phone, touch screen mobile phone, or any kind of laptops. So Google is one of the best friends for each and everybody, and artificial intelligence is also getting more famous because of this Google. Future of AI. So today you might also have heard about this unmanned vehicles, UAV. Okay, unmanned vehicles are being denoted as UAV, that is being used for self-driven cars, and self-driven cars are using n number of AI features to identify whether the person has boarded in, and the sensors of the car is able to identify whether the person boarded in is safe, and it also checks whether the door is properly being closed, and it also checks for whether there is any object in our land, and it is able to keep track of all the information. It collects the information about where the person has boarded, and where the destination point, and whether the destination point, or how long it will take for the person to move from the source to destination point. All these information are being covered with the help of sensors, and each sensor is able to give lot of data with the help of information that is being fed in, and the entire unmanned vehicle is completely relying upon this AI factor, and that AI factor is actually helping you to identify what kind of data is being collected, and how those data is facilitating you to understand how many number of predictions can be made for such kind of travels in future from that particular location to another location. Even in medical industry, if you consider, you might be wondering how far the chemical factors are actually affecting or creating a kind of side effects for the humans. That is being calculated with the help of AI, because whenever we take some kind of medicines, there are n number of chemical combinations. Each and every chemical combination has its own side effect, and the side effects actually affects us in a later stage, and those things are being predicted spontaneously by these AI systems, and the AI systems will give you a clear-cut image about what kind of additional sectors has to be considered whenever we are going such kind of explorations. All right. So, what are the challenges that are available for AI? We speak about AI. Even AI has a lot of merits and demerits, right? So, what is the major challenge for AI? Belief of human. Once we introduce something to the market, whether you will be happy if some system is acting on your own in your own house, we will not be happy, right? So we need everything. We humans, we always expect everything should be in our control. We should never allow any system to bypass us or carry its own thought and do the things on its own. So building trust is a very major challenge of an AI, and AI human interface. AI human interface should always interact with the humans and should find a solution for the problem. It should not act on its own, and it should not invest our money on its own, because today you might have heard something called blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is currently booming up, and people started implementing this AI in the blockchain, because blockchain itself is an emerging technology. AI is also an emerging technology. They are trying to map both this AI and blockchain, and once if that goes wrong, all the investment that is being made by the AI system might go wrong if the prediction factors fails. And software malfunction. You just imagine you are asking your system to open an application, and once it opens, it immediately starts opening all the other applications. Or whenever you are trying to type something, it automatically closes. What will happen? That is a kind of malfunction that a software might come across, and all these things will happen only if our verification and validation of the system goes wrong. Until or otherwise, it will not happen. So the AI system can replace only certain tasks. We cannot expect the AI to replace all the tasks that is being carried out by a particular person or humans. And there are n number of high expectations among humans. You know, the Chinese started building a beautiful artificial moon, right? They are having a lot of high expectations with the help of this AI. They are trying to do this with the help of various factors. All these things are being into consideration. You can just explore such articles. They are also trying to build a huge sun, right? So how the world is going to take over this? All these things are, nobody knows. We cannot predict what is going to happen in future. But the people are trying to do extraordinary factors with the help of the implementation of AI, and AI is also facilitating us to certain extent in all these factors. But we should be very careful about what are the side effects that we are going to come across. Benefits. So dealing with a mundane task. So which means the task is getting again and again. The repeated task will be carried out in a very faster way, and the faster decisions can be happened with the help of implementing AI. AI can avoid errors because it will be a routine job, and it will not create a number of other problems that we humans do. And taking risk on behalf of humans. Humans will be afraid or scared to take risks, but the AI system will take risk once it is being instructed to do so. So we don't need to worry about whether the artificial intelligence system will be a perfect solution. It will try to be a perfect solution, and it will give us a result. And the only factor what we have to consider is that the financial implication or the capital that is being invested in invention process or innovation process of this artificial intelligence should never go wrong, or it should not be used for some undesirable activities, right? Or like terrorism. We should not use AI systems for any encouraging terrorism across the world. So all these things are to be taken into consideration. So global risk of AI. Global risk is that it replacement of humans. Many people are scared. Oh my God, this AI is going to replace my job. It is going to take off my job, and I'm going to be pushed to the under poverty line. No, definitely it is not going to happen. But still, the global risk is there. AI is programmed for devastating tasks. Okay, so it will be decentralizing a number of systems, and it will be doing a lot of things. It may develop a destructive way to achieve its goal. They think the artificial intelligence, the people think that the AI system will develop its own destructive way to achieve its goal. They are surpassing human rights, so it will automatically take our own decisions, and it will implement whatever it thinks. So these are the some of the thoughts. This may not be taken as a complete risk, but still, people mindset says that these are all some of the risk that the people think that the AI might cause to them. Right. Examples of AI. Hi, I am Kanata. You might have seen about Navigator.io. I would like to give you a very beautiful example of named Navigator.io. Navigator.io is one of the very best artificial intelligence tool, and its beta version is being introduced, and it manages all the process that is being carried out internally in any organization. We have a number of workspaces. Facebook has a workspace, Workbench, and other softwares have workspace. We have something called cloud-enabled workspaces, drag and drop methods, like Kisco or various kind of cloud computing platforms. They are able to embed this kind of artificial intelligence tool to find a solution. And IVR system, interactive voice recognition system, is also a kind of the first system that is being managed to collect the information automatically from the customer and act accordingly. And today, company named Exotel is collecting all kind of information that is being recorded between two different set of phone calls, and it is able to give you lot of information. And AI is being implemented in all the places to collect the data. So once your phone is there with you and it is live and it is being connected with the internet, you should be very careful because it is being AI enabled. All our touch screen phones are AI enabled. So it might collect data even without our knowledge. We should be very careful about what kind of communications that we are doing, what kind of information is being shared, and to whom it has been shared, and why it is being shared. Nobody knows. All these things are happening behind. We will not be able to judge whether it is actually happening or not. But still, there is a myth that all these data are getting collected. Right. So this is the one that Sophia, the world's first robot citizen. I have told you it is a social humanoid, and it is developed by Hong Kong-based company Hanson Robotics, and it is able to give answers for all the questions whatever that is being posted in front of it. And it is somebody claimed that the Sophia should be awarded with the Doctor of Philosophy as it has answered all the questions, right? So this is how the greatest achievement is happening. But the person who has developed this world's first robot citizen has, and it is the first robot to have a citizenship in a country. That is also being made, and this is the greatest achievement, and it is being treated as a benchmark or milestone in the history of artificial intelligence. So, step to design an AI system. What are the steps that are involved? Or what should I focus? What should I focus? Even the persons who are listening in this forum might not be having sufficient knowledge towards this AI system, but might be having interest, but they might not be aware how to start with. So these are the steps to design an AI system. First and foremost thing is that you have to identify the problem. Once you identify some problem, it might not be related to computers, but it might be related to various factors, but you should be able to understand what the problem is all about and what are the factors influencing that problem, and what are the ideas that can solve this problem, and how it can be digitalized, and how the digitalization can find a solution for this. All these information are to be collected, and you have to prepare the data based on the information whatever that I have told you now, and you have to empathize the system, empathize the problem. Once you empathize, start empathizing the problem, you will be able to get a clear cut idea about what the problem is all about. Once we see on a whole, we will be able to say, yeah, very big or very huge problem. On seeing the problem itself, we will be running out. But once you start empathizing the problem, decentralizing the problem, you discuss with your peers and you discuss with the subject experts, you will be able to get the data, and based on the data, you will be able to choose the algorithms. Machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms are there, and we have three different types of machine learning algorithms, which I will be covering you in the forthcoming slides. It is being classified into supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement algorithms are there, and based on that algorithm, we will be able to train which kind of algorithm is best suited for finding solution for that problem what we come across, and we have to choose the programming language in which the AI system is to be developed. Normally, when in current trend, if you ask me C, C++, Java, or other programming language, I would prefer Python is the best programming language, which will be taken as a base for understanding this AI system. And for all kind of data analytics, I used to prefer R programming, because R programming is one of the very wonderful language. But comparably, Python programming will be best for initial start, because Python programming is very easy to understand, and the coding is very less for Python programming. And you can choose any selected platform to run this Python programming. And there are some specific tools that are being manufactured by the famous industries like IBM. IBM has introduced something called IBM Watson, which permits you to create your own AI system, and it also created IBM Cognos, which is actually used for analyzing the data, and you can predict what would be the value in near future. So identifying the problem is the first step. Once you identify the problem, you have to see the multi-dimensional area. What kind of factors are to be considered? How many capitation is to be involved? What time it will take for our success? How many people are to be employed? What are the skilled persons you are looking for? And you should also consider all the things. All the factors are to be considered while identifying the problem itself. We cannot pitch a particular problem as it is on seeing on our blender eyes. We should see whether what we think it as a problem is actually a problem or not. That is also to be considered before we are proceeding with the implementation of AI systems. So prepare the data. How to get the data? Once we identify the problem, we will be able to get the data, and we have to clear and prepare and manipulate the data. We have to train the model. We have to implement various kind of algorithms and train the model. We have to sometimes we have to combine two or more algorithms with several set of parameters, and we have to find and train the model, and we have to test the data based on some inputs, and we have to improve. So we have to reiterate this process again and again and again to find a beautiful solution for the problem model that we come across. So choosing an algorithm. How to choose an algorithm? Why to choose an algorithm? So normally, many people will be scared of writing algorithms. Algorithms are nothing but it's a kind of steps that are being followed to find a solution for the problem. But still, many people are very scared in writing algorithms. So to those people, I would like to suggest you to go with pseudocode, which is a general English format of this algorithm. So in general English format, you will be able to track what kind of variables are to be used, why it is being used, what is the logical factors are to be incorporated. All these things can be incorporated in a step-by-step way, and by that way, you will be able to track an algorithm, and you can also do PDCA. What is PDCA? Plan, do, check, and act. Principles can be adapted to check whether the algorithm that is being framed by you is actually able to identify a solution for the problem. So text is training the algorithm. Once you have made all the algorithms ready, you have to give some kind of training. You have to identify various factors. So here an image processing system is the algorithm is being followed. It identifies the various kind of expressions that is being made by a person, and those expressions are being captured, and these expressions are being captured and stored in a data set, and those data set will be given with some kind of insights, and those insights will get triggered when same or similar kind of expressions are being offered by the other personalities. So, best programming language for AI, I have already mentioned you that though C++, Java, and Python and R are more popular, I prefer you to start with Python. Python is best as of now because it is able to incorporate a number of machine learning libraries, and it also facilitates you to do the coding in a very simple language. And natural language toolkit is also available, and it is being written in Python instead of programming it by yourself, so that you can do some wonders by just drag and drop method. You can be able to identify, or you can create your own application to find a solution for the problems. So selected platforms are there today. Everything. So before proceeding with the selected platform, I would like to say you what are the different types of computing methods are available. In general, once we say something as once we started implementing something in a digitalized format, we call it as a computer. A computer is a conversion of factors, right? It just manages all the data in the form of a digitalized form. So today, if you ask somebody about, if you ask any IT people about what is the computing and what are various type of computings, you might know they might be giving a lot of computings. You might have heard about mobile computing. You might have heard about ubiquitous. Pervasive computing is there. You have heard about service-oriented computing. You might have heard about cloud computing. You might have heard about edge computing, fog computing. All these are various different types of computing terminologies that are available in practice, and the major or the base of all these things is to offer services in an uninterrupted way. So ubiquitous or the pervasive will be the base for all kind of other computing terminologies, whatever that I've told you now. And the platform is to be selected based on in which platform or which kind of applications or where the particular system is being to be used is to be considered before we are selecting the platform. And the cloud computing offers the three types of services. One is software as a service, platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. And the platform as a service is actually being carried as an input for this kind of selecting the platform whenever we are incorporating anything in a cloud platform. So the cloud platform will offer you to implement or execute the things in a remote server, which means that you no need to invest much more amount for establishing something. And the four types of AI are reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-awareness. These are the four types of artificial intelligence factors that are to be considered. So it is the simpler reactive machines on the simplest level of robot, and limited memory machines are it is to retain some information learned from the observing the previous events. Once you are able to predict the factors based on the previous things, you have to have some limited memory and theory of mind. So it is a kind of input that is being fed as a education factor. And self-awareness. Self-awareness is the system that is being used to protect itself. So your system should be well versed to protect itself. So even sometimes you might have seen that your system automatically reboots and it corrects all the problem whatever that it come across. Once your cache memory is full or your cache memory or the garbage value of your system is high, your processor will restart the system and will try to clear the cache whatever that is being stored or the unnecessary data that is being stored in your system. So machine learning. So what is machine learning? It is a subfield of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning focus on development of computer programs that access data. So this in machine learning only I told you that you should be making the machine to learn and understand how the system actually has to react for the input that is being given by you. Once you click it key in your keyboard, it is being observed by the keylogger, and the keylogger will automatically pass the information to a DMA, direct memory access controller, and the direct memory access controller will take the information to the processor. The processor will actually trigger the input and it will check what kind of input is being received from the end user, and it will try to give a solution for that. The same kind of machine learning process is to be enhanced, and we have to train the data and select algorithm based on the input that is being received, and the training algorithms are being made man-made by the end user. Man-made features are to be adapted whenever we are selecting the algorithms. And for prediction factors, we should use all kind of data that is being collected previously, and we have to use what kind of accuracy level is to be achieved over time, and we should also check periodically whether the accuracy is as expected. If we are not up to that level mark, we have to change the algorithms and we have to retrain the model again and again, and we have to reiterate the process until we achieve the desired accuracy over the time. And difference between AI, ML, and DL. AI is an umbrella discipline that covers everything related to making machines smarter. Machine learning is commonly used along with the AI, but it is a subset of AI. ML refers to AI system that can self-learn based on algorithm, and deep learning is a machine learning applied to large data set. So before understanding this deep learning, you should have at least a short knowledge about what is a data set. A data set is a collection of information that is being collected from distributed database environment based on a constraint. The constraint is called as a condition that is being put forth by the end user. Once you search something in a Google, what happens? It actually takes the input, whatever that is being fed in a Google search engine as a keyword, and those keywords are being mapped with every distributed database environment that is being connected with the Google, and the Google will be fetching all the information and will be just displaying it in front of the interactive screen that you are sitting in front of. And types of machine learning, it has supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learnings are there. And each supervised learning describes a class of problem that involves using a model to learn a mapping between input example and the target variable. So it will also check whether the predictions can be done with some kind of supervisions, and we always have some kind of input and output, and both the input and the output will have some kind of dependency factors, and those dependency factors will decide whether this learning will be actually helpful for the finding the solution for the problems. And supervised learning will have these two sectors, regression and classification. Regression is used for predicting a numerical level, classification is used for predicting a class level. And these are all some of the algorithms that are falling under regression and classification. And all these algorithms are currently used by the researchers to find solutions for the problem. And these algorithms are not specific to any one particular area. You can use these algorithms in various platforms like healthcare or any industry, high level industries, or any kind of short problems. Also, you can use this kind of algorithms to find a problem. Even in cyber security, we are using these kind of regression and classification algorithms to find some solutions. Unsupervised algorithm describes a class of problems that involves a model to describe the exact relationship in data. What kind of relationships are there? There should be some kind of hierarchical relationships. Normally, the database environment itself will have some kind of relational database management system is being denoted for identifying the duplications of data. If there is duplication, it will be being avoided with the help of normalization method that is being incorporated. And unsupervised learning will automatically do all these kind of dependency factors, and it will check for the dependency factors. If there is any problem, it will automatically avoid that duplication or other kind of problems that it come across, and it will have some kind of prediction factors. And it uses different types of methods called clustering and dimensionality reduction. Clustering involves finding a group of groups in a data, and dimensional reduction, it lowers the dimensional representation of numerical input value that preserves the salient relationships in the data. So these kind of unsupervised learning can also be adapted wherever it is being needed. So we can incorporate supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement algorithm wherever we are in need of. And reinforcement learning describes a class of problems where an agent operates in an environment and must be learned to operate using feedback. Once we collect some feedback, once we do something, we have to collect feedback, and if the feedback is worst, we have to work on that. If the feedback is good, we have to proceed with that factor, and we have to find a solution. So application of machine learning algorithms, you could find it is used for diagnosing. Supervised learning is used for diagnosis, spam detection, object recognition, fraud detection. So object recognition, it is being implemented in sensors, right? So on seeing this kind of application area system, you'll be able to understand what kind of learning methodology is being adopted in this kind of six systems. Recommended system, targeted marketing, customer segmentation, and big data visualization uses unsupervised learning. Whenever you are using some kind of higher end data dashboards, you can use this kind of unsupervised learning methods, and you can also go for reinforcement learning in skill acquisition, real time decisions, and robot navigation and game AI. So all these areas you will be able to identify, and you can incorporate these kind of algorithms to find a solution for the problem. So AI in Python. So AI with Python have lot of advantages. You could find in this particular screen how this AI is actually successful with the help of Python programming languages. That's why I prefer you to learn Python, because once you are able to master yourself in Python programming, you will be able to master yourself in AI in a very short period of time span, and it will help you to grab a very good job with a high salary package in any kind of industries, because today everything is getting digitalized, and once we are getting digitalized, there will be a number of data. Once we are able to store a number of data in various kind of data warehouses, we have to perform data mining process. In data mining process, we will always follow ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. And once we are performing that, we have to immediately look for various kind of data set using the conditions that is being framed, and that conditions will give you a lot of querying languages, and querying languages will facilitate the end user to identify how the AI system is able to predict what kind of information that the end user is actually looking for. So this is how the AI with Python is actually facilitating you to do all kind of the information that we are looking for. So, conclusion, finally we say that the artificial intelligence is the intelligence of machines, and that's a branch of computer science that aim to create it. Even after worries expressed by great people like Bill Gates and Elon Musk, various scientists still believe that AI would be able to mankind to a greater extent, applying some machine. So the profit and risk depends upon how the humans, that's mean we are going to use it, how we are going to use it. So once we are able to use it for some good factors, definitely AI is going to be a boon for us in our society. So with these words, I would like to conclude my speech.
Okay, sir. Some questions from live chat.
Okay.
Okay, the first question is Surya asking, what is nano robots?
What is nanorobots? Nanorobots are very minute number of robots that is being embedded with some kind of technology that is being specifically used for identifying their smaller end systems, with the smaller minute particles, biomedical areas, bioinformatics systems are using these kind of nanorobots to identify some kind of particles, and it is able to give an exact solution or what kind of reactions are happening for any kind of factors. I can explain you only these things with the application areas, because I am into learning industry, but I can give you an application area model that I have covered. So, to my knowledge, the nano robots are actually facilitating you to identify some set of data, and that nano robots will also collect some data and it will be storing the data based on the information that it come across. But the thing is that the nano robots have limitations in various factors compared to the other robots.
Okay, I have another question. Asking Jazz John, can you share the material, sir?
Yeah, I will be sharing you the PPT to the owners so that you can just
Okay.
organize
I
it
have,
in the computer.
okay, I have some questions from my side.
Yes, ma'am.
How can AI be used to enhance the cyber security and protect against evolving cyber threats?
That is one of the very good area because my area of research is also dealing with that. In AI, once we are going for this cyber security, AI factors, we have to look for classification. Okay, classification and detection of cyber problems. We are classifying the malwares, we are classifying the various kind of programs that is being fed by the programmers. Normally, the cyber problems are caused by the highly qualified and highly IT experts in the industry. Only those people are writing these kind of malicious codes, and they were trying to steal some their set of data. The factor in cybersecurity is that how we are going to stop it. So once we are able to create some kind of filters, so the filter is to be created with n number of parameters. But normally, when we are going for research, we will be taking only some 70 to 80 set of parameters, and we will be able to give it as a classification model. But once we are able to give for n finite number of filters with n finite number of conditions are being taken to create a filter, and those filters will be able to execute the task in quantum computing methodology. Definitely, you will be able to give a very best solution. The thing is that once we increase the parameters, the time consumption for executing the factors or identifying the sets is a little large as of now. But once we are able to embed that with quantum computing method, the performance of the system will get reduced. And once the performance is getting reduced, it should not bypass any kind of parameter that is being embedded with that particular algorithm. Once it is being done, definitely AI will be a boon to the cybersecurity area.
Okay, and what the advancements are being made in AI to improve the healthcare outcomes and assist medical professionals in diagnosing and treating diseases?
Madam, today, even if you go to some dental doctors, they are saying that it is able to give lot of solutions. They are actually correcting. You might have seen that today in India, the dental doctors are purchasing some kind of kits, AI-enabled kits, and they have already. I have some contacts with some of the doctors, and they have told me that the AI system is able to predict the neuron capacity that is being found between the teeth and the gum. Okay, and it is able to give some kind of information to the doctor so that they will be able to do some surgical operations without any kind of pain to the end users. I mean, the customers.
Okay, and some participants are asking some questions.
Yes.
Asking SG Wani, Python or R, which language is more powerful for learning AI and ML?
Python. My choice is to go with Python because
Okay.
by using Python you can write supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement algorithm, and you can embed all those things. R programming is also good, but the thing is that R programming is good for data analytics.
Okay, and another one, Anshul Kumar asking, how AI related to human mindsets intelligence?
Sorry, please come again, ma'am.
How AI related to humans mindsets intelligence?
Human mindset. Normally, we should not correlate these two terms because human mindset. Because sometimes I might be interested in some products that are available in e-commerce sites, right? So
Okay.
that is the mindset of me. But today morning, I might have checked a wallet in my any e-commerce website like Flipkart or Amazon. And afternoon, I might be checking for some kind of tables, or I might also check for some laptops. The human interaction, it actually captures all the human interactions, and the artificial intelligence will identify from which IP address and MAC address this particular items are being checked, and it will just post those kind of application related information to the end user. So it will just collect the information and it will just throw and or it will give the input. It is just like making a human in front of you and selling the products. So the e-commerce websites are making the AI system as an boon, and they collect the information whatever that is being searched by the end user, and they collect the mindset of the humans, and they just post whatever that is being searched as an product that is available to the end users.
Okay. And please explain the pneumatic air muscles.
Pneumatic air muscle, sorry, I am not aware about it.
Okay. And thus robots are made of steel or aluminum?
It is again a great question that is being asked by many people, even me before a few years. But I have seen that the AI robots are being made of aluminum, most probably because of the weightless factors. But in some places, I have also questioned whether if it is weightless, how it is able to withhold some large products. That is the question that is being proposed by me. But they have mentioned that it will have some supporting factors with some spindle machines, and those spindle machine will be carrying the product, and the robot will just do the operations, and it will record the information in the computing at the back end.
Okay. And Saran asking, is AI affect human work?
Definitely not, in my view. AI is actually introduced to facilitate humans and perform all kind of operations. So AI will actually be a boon for the industry. But as I have displayed in the slide, it is again how we actually use the AI. It is not about how AI will be facilitating us. It is how we are going to use the AI.
Okay. Another question. SG Vani asking, do learning neuroimaging along with Python will help us understand more about AI and ML?
Ma'am, can you please repeat it? I cannot get it.
Do learning neuroimaging along with Python will help us understand more about AI and ML.
Yeah, you can learn about all these things, because these three things are interdependent. Because once you started learning AI, you will be understanding for what purpose the AI is being used and what are the application areas. And these programming languages will have some set of library files, and those library files are different from a normal application to AI based applications. Normal applications can also be done with the help of the programming languages. AI based applications can also be done with the help of programming languages. The set of libraries, what kind of library is to be used for creating an AI based application, will be understood only if we cover all these areas.
Okay. And what is wireless brain sensors?
Wireless.
Brain sensor, brain.
Wireless sensors are nothing but whenever you might have heard something called a repeat, right? Radio frequency identification, and these radio frequency identification is being done with the help of this kind of sensors. And what it does is that it actually identifies who is the customer and how we are able to track this customer, what kind of information is being shared. Because even you can see where we have logged in. We can, using the repeat tags, we can see where the customer has been logged in. If you are giving your customer with repeat tags, you will be able to track where he goes and what he does and where he lastly logged in. All these factors can be easily tracked, and wireless sensors are actually facilitating you to keep track of all the information, and it actually, yeah, kind of threat to the personal life of many humans.
Okay. Is any AI in India?
There are a lot of AI applications that are currently in practice in India.
Okay. Then AI in future superior the humans' minds?
Sorry, ma'am. Please come again.
AI in future superior the humans' minds?
Definitely, AI will be ruling the world in future. There is no doubt in that, because many people were saying about, yeah, there are a lot of troubles in AI, and but every day, every now and then, since 1956, they started developing those systems, and today AI is getting boomed up with the help of the internet, and many people started using it. Once we are taking it to the consumer base is getting high, definitely the system is going to get changed, and we are all going to depend only upon AI. If there is no AI, we will be finding it very difficult, because if you see that even a born child is trying to use mobile phones in every day in India, even in India. So the same system, if it continues, definitely we will not be able to live without AI.
Okay. And does robots have emotions?
Robots, robots will not have emotions, but it can be fed in. That is the research that is happening, but it is not in practice as of now.
Okay, I think questions that's all, sir.
Okay.
The answer is very useful, and I hope the access and that the participants can understand about that. Anything is fine, sir. Good questions, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, I sincerely thank you for attending our webinar and introduction to artificial intelligence. Throughout the event, we explored the fascinating world of AI, its principal applications and ethical considerations. We are grateful for the active engagement and valuable insights shared by the participants. Your thoughtful questions and discussions enriched the webinar experience, highlighting the diverse perspectives within the AI community. So once again, I express our gratitude for your presence and participation in this webinar. We hope it has provided you with a solid foundation and piqued your interest in the incredible world of artificial intelligence. Let us continue to explore innovative and harness the power of AI for a bright future. So, really, thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you, Sreejith.
Thank you,
Thanks to
sir.
all
Thank
the
you.
organizers. Thank you. And
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
participants as well.